Welcome back to Under the Sink Light. Today we're making homemade fruit and veggie pouches. If your kid is anything like mine, they love pureed fruit and veggies still. So I actually got a kit for Christmas to make my own, to kind of ease up on my wallet. So today I'm doing banana, green beans, spinach, applesauce, and then you see the Ovaltine mix there. You can do whatever ones that your kid likes, of course, or if they're for you, whatever you like. I just wanted to do these because he likes all these things separately, and I want to make sure that he's getting, some variety in his diet. So there's one medium-sized banana, it was pretty ripe, and then a 1/4 cup of chopped frozen spinach that I thawed, and then a 1/4 cup of canned green beans that I just gave a quick rinse, and then 1/2 cup of applesauce. And then I'm just adding that all to the little baby NutriBullet blender, but any blender will work. This one I feel is purely for the aesthetic, that everything has little smiley faces on it. It's honestly not the best blender that I've ever had, but if you'd like to give it a shot yourself, it comes with little storage jars and a travel size container that I believe you can blend in because the blades unscrew from this main blender. But frankly, it's just kind of narrow at the bottom, so it does have some difficulty blending unless there's a lot of liquid. So for the Ovaltine, I just did 2 tablespoons, which is 1 serving, but it's going to be split up. We just use that for some extra vitamins and minerals. So there's no buttons on this blender, you just press it down to make it start running. I had to give it a few quick pulses first, and then you'll see that I end up shaking it to move the stuff around. You could add a little more liquid if you want, or you can put a spatula in there. But frankly, I thought that it should be liquidy enough to blend up without any problems. And after I shook it up a little bit, it did go ahead and blend up with no problem afterwards. I just had to persuade it a little bit. But I just blended that until I could tell that there was no chunks or any little bits of spinach floating around by themselves. Really only maybe 30 seconds total. And you can see that it's all blended up nicely. It kind of looks not the best color, but it is a soup-like consistency. Put the blender to the side. And then this is I guess the best way to describe it is a plunger to fill these little pouches. There's a little zip lock at the bottom that you want to make super sure is completely zipped all the way, otherwise it'll leak right out. Or if you let your kid hold it, it will explode through the bottom. And then you just twist it on to the spigot part of the plunger. And you probably want to, take the plunger out first. Otherwise, you're just going to be trying to pull it up and it's creating a vacuum and it will not come up. So, learned that lesson. And once it's screwed on, I just fill up the little plunger almost to the top. I left maybe like 1/4 to 1/2 an inch of space, just to have room and so I wouldn't spill, and because it ends up filling up the pouch almost pretty much full. I didn't want to overfill them because they are perishable, especially once my kid starts to eat it. It kind of has to get eaten in the next day. And then I just tilted it to make sure that it would kind of all go into the pouch before I unscrewed it. I did end up dripping a little bit, but that's totally fine. And then you just screw the caps on, and that's it. One one of the great things about these pouches is they are pretty easy to clean. So like I just wiped off the drip off of that one, and then I put a paper towel down to do the second one because the plunger had stuff on it now, and because I didn't feel like having to wipe up the entire counter if I dripped again. But this is, an item that is made for convenience in some way anyway. But again, just screw on the pouch, pour in your puree mixture about almost to the top, a 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch of headspace, and then you just plunger it right into the pouch. It even starts to ooze a little bit on its own just from gravity, but I guess that's a good way of knowing you have the right consistency. And then the extra I put into the cute little carrying container. I could have made another pouch, but for some reason I could only find 2 of the 4 that I had. I think probably because someone else put dishes away and they ended up in some other random spot. And then that's pretty much it. Even the plunger is super easy to clean. We just use, our bottle brush and then rinse it out really well. Nothing usually sticks. Unless it was maybe a chunkier puree. But this all goes into the fridge, and I'm hoping he enjoys it. But I just scrape out the last little bit. I'll probably use the rest of this to make him some pancakes or maybe waffles or something. Try and sneak it into the food that he actually likes. And this is of course super versatile. You can put whatever you want in the pouches. And then that's all she wrote. Thanks for watching.